And yet the irony is that the story of America has so often been written by those who were told by others with power and influence and wealth that they were anything but exceptional.
Well, first of all, he's talking to those who elected him.
Right.
And remember
Sure.
that it is a minority
Right.
of New Yorkers.
Okay.
Number two, he is very, very attractive, no matter what people say about what he says.
Right.
He is,
He's aesthetically pleasing.
He is aesthetically pleasing. You don't really want a handout. And the people that he has captured are what I would call the crybabies that have it. And by the way, that is brilliant marketing. Did you know Einstein, when he came to New York, hired a public relations person to tell people how smart he was? Talking to your base is not really what governing's about.
No. You could have been Neil Sedaka.
No, I could never have been Neil Sedaka, but I could have been a contender.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe we can get this tape to him, because I really would love to meet him, is Jerry Seinfeld.
Today we got a very special guest joining us in studio, and what a better day, right, John, than the 4th of July?
Absolutely.
Can you believe it?
As we say in Brooklyn.
Yeah, the most patriotic day of the year. And this year, the 250th anniversary of American independence, right?
I can't believe it.
I mean, we're not 250, but...
No, I know. I just had my 75th. So,
oh, well, yeah, I wish you a happy birthday.
Yeah, that's right. On June the 29th, 1951.
I love it.
A day that will live in infamy.
All right, John's known as the marketing doctor. Dr. John Tantillo has a bachelor's degree in psychology from St. Francis College in Brooklyn, and we'll talk about Brooklyn, a master's degree in experimental psychology from Queens College, and a doctorate in applied research psychology from Hofstra University. Ooh, fancy boy there.
Yeah.
He's a professor of marketing and management, author of People by Brands, Not Companies. And that makes total sense. A regular contributor on Newsmax, which I watch all the time. And he spent decades helping businesses, organizations, and political campaigns understand one thing better than almost anyone, and that's branding, right? John,
it's all about branding.
Welcome to the show, brother.
Well, thank you, Rodney. It's a pleasure to be here.
Awesome. Before we get rolling, we have a really cool story we're going to tell later in the show how John and I actually met. And we discovered that we have a mutual connection, a good friend of mine and my hometown, Richard Pryor Jr., who's been in studio here.
Oh, wow. He is such a wonderful human being.
He's awesome.
He came on my podcast called Brand Talk, Another Way to Talk.
There you go.
And he was just wonderful. He really is... he really was in love with his daddy, his father.
100%.
And the more I heard the stories, the more what a wonderful person Richard Pryor was. I mean, he was really, he got bad press because of his addiction.
Sure.
But what a man. I mean, I really wish I would have known him.
Do you know that Trading Places, I just heard this the other day. You might know this guy too, I'll talk about. Lord Buckley, he's out of Brooklyn too, but he does a podcast. He's a comedian. But did you know that Pryor and Wilder were up for Trading Places, and then he caught on fire out there with the whole freebasing?
I did not know that.
That's
I did not know that.
Isn't that crazy?
And you know, let me just say that it was very special to meet his son, because I was not a fan of Richard Pryor.
Right.
I was a customer.
Oh, okay.
In other words, I would go to a movie to see Richard Pryor.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between being a fan and being a customer. You want to be a customer.
Absolutely. So let's start with your hometown. I love this because everything that's going on in New York right now, you're in Arizona. like me.
I know.
And
I don't miss what's going on over there.
Well,
to be quite honest about it. Go ahead.
so it's in your DNA. What neighborhood did you grow up in Brooklyn?
I grew up in a German, we were the token Italians in the German neighborhood called the Visual Cleans. And my grandfather, Sam Tantillo, he was the fruit and vegetable guy. So the Germans bought their fruit and vegetables from Sam.
Okay.
And that was it. And he died Christmas Eve, 1942, having his best year ever in the United States.
Oh, you gotta love that.
You gotta love it. He died of a massive heart attack.
Oh, wow.
And his
That was
truck went into the stoplight, and that was his story. And I never met him. And my grandmother died in 1950, a few months before I was born. And I think she had passed in September, and I was born it was the following year. So I
Okay.
was born in 51. She died in 50.
I want everyone to understand this timeline. Take me from you're a kid growing up in one of the 5 boroughs in New York, in Brooklyn. What was that like compared to what you think it would be like for you as a kid in Brooklyn right now?
Well, that is such a great question. I would say that, first of all, I was a very naive kid.
Okay.
I was really basically a mama's boy. And everything that I did was to please my parents. Although what I did not realize is how overbearing they both were.
Sure.
My parents were the Costanzas.
Oh,
of
really?
Seinfeld. Absolutely.
One of my
and to give you an idea of the relationship I had with my parents is that I really want to write this book, which will be the 3rd book actually the 4th book, because I'm rewriting People Buy Brands, Not Companies, to include the digital age. So I'm working on that, and I have Go Brand Yourself. That's the 3rd.
Sure.
And the 4th one, are you ready for this?
I'm ready, baby.
Okay. My mother said no to piano lessons. And
Wait a second.
Yeah. So I was the only 5-year-old child that actually asked my mother,
Right.
for piano lessons. And I'll tell you the story.
I was going to say, no one wants to take this.
Right, but I just loved music.
Right.
Okay, I was a choir boy. I became a choir boy, and I didn't have the confidence as a kid because I was a chubby kid.
Okay.
And what happened was I just didn't have the confidence to be a soloist.
Okay.
Even though the choir teacher and my teachers in high school said, "We'll put you on." I said, "I don't want any part of that."
Really?
And I didn't know. But anyway, let me tell you this story.
Sure.
So Mrs. Wolf was the tenant on the 1st floor. My parents and my aunt, who I adored, that's another story. And that's
Sure.
why we can talk a lot about my whole family background. But what happened was that they were moving, and Mrs. Wolf was on the 1st floor, and she had an upright piano.
Okay.
And she says to my mother, Mrs. Tantillo, because that's the way they refer to
Sure.
people. It wasn't by first names. It was by
Yeah.
the last name, Miss. It wasn't Ms. It was Miss or Mrs.
Right.
Mrs. Tantillo, we have a piano here. Would you like it? And my mother, with a pregnant pause, and I say, without in a New York minute, a New York second, Mommy, can you buy the piano? I want to take piano lessons. And my mother says, no. So my sister, who is a saint, my sister Diane,
Right.
with the way she rationalizes it, And she said, well, they really weren't, they didn't really have a lot of money.
Sure.
So I told this story to a dear friend of mine, Neil Sedaka, who recently passed.
Okay.
At one point, we were pretty good friends, okay?
Oh,
all right.
that's
We used to
awesome.
go to dinner. I mean, I'll tell you some stories about Neil Sedaka.
That's what we're here for.
Okay. So anyway, when I tell it to Neil, he said, JT, you know what happened with me? When I told my father that I wanted to play the piano, he was a cab driver and bought me an upright right then and there. The next day I had it. I couldn't believe it.
Bone crushing.
Yeah. Well, now you know. So this whole creative.
You could have been Neil Sedaka.
No, I could never have been Neil Sedaka, but I could have been a contender.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
could have been
Right.
an entertainer.
Sure.
You know,
sure.
and
Given the right tools.
Given the right tools. You know, and I love stand-up comedy.
Okay.
And you know, it's funny. The guy who I really appreciate more than ever, and maybe we can get this tape to him, because I really would love to meet him, is Jerry Seinfeld.
Oh, yeah.
I just think
He's a tough get.
Yeah, no, I know he's a tough get. But I think what I have planned, if I could be so bold,
Sure.
is I got a great book that's coming out. This People Buy Brands, Not Companies. And
Sure.
if that book doesn't go bestseller, the second one will. And why do I say that? Is I think the book is good and I know how to market it.
There
A
you
lot
go.
of publishers do not know how to market their books.
Why do you
And
think
already-
that is, like in this day and age?
Well, first of all, marketing is a dirty word.
Yeah.
It should only be on the quality of the art. That's what it should be on. And it doesn't
Right.
work like that.
Right.
Okay? And that's why certain people and certain comedians work, because they knew how to market themselves. I'm going to
Absolutely.
ask our audience here. Did you know Einstein, when he came to New York, hired a public relations person to tell people how smart he was?
What?
Yes.
Get out of here.
Yes, and he hired Ed Bernays, who was Sigmund Freud's brother-in-law.
I
Okay?
mean, networking at its highest level right there.
Absolutely. But I mean, that's what people don't understand. And in my book, I talk
What?
really...
Are you kidding me right now?
Yeah, I mean,
Let's do that for me tomorrow. Smart? No, I don't want to be the smartest man alive.
Well, right.
Mediocre, halfway dumb.
Yeah. Well, but see, my perception of myself is that I could never do it.
Right.
Because I was like I said, I was a chubby kid. I wasn't great
Insecure.
at sports. Yeah, very insecure.
Yeah.
And
Father in your life?
and my father in my life was a short guy who was who thought I would be a 6-footer. I never got to 6 foot. I was like 5'7", 5'8".
Well,
He
that's
was only
pretty good for an Italian guy to be.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
My buddy he's from Albany that I work with, Joey, he's 5'5". His dad was 5'4".
Yeah.
Sicilian, but
Yeah,
yeah, a little
yeah.
bit. I don't know if the island has anything to do with the height.
But yeah, well, anyway, my parents were very, very good people.
Good.
They sent me to St. Francis Prep.
Oh.
And there I was in the Glee Club. I was a 3-letter man, 3 letters in music and the
nice.
arts. But there was nobody reinforcing my creativity.
Okay.
Because remember, my mother said no to piano
Yeah,
lessons.
immediately.
Well, I would think they wanted me to be a teacher.
Oh, okay.
And they wanted me to come over every Sunday for sauce.
Sure.
Or gravy, as they
Right.
would say. And, get married, have plenty of kids.
Yeah,
And that was not what
Not in the cards.
That was in the cards. And early in my life, I wanted to be a priest.
Oh, wow.
So I became a Franciscan monk at 18,
Jeez.
and so I did that, and I had a wonderful time while it lasted, and then I realized that what I wanted to do is get married and have a few children.
Okay.
And then I said, no, I don't want to do that. What I really want to do is I want to be a psychologist. And then I went.
Seems like you're all over the board a little bit.
Yeah, well, you know, being a blue collar guy,
Right.
you look for white collar
Sure.
influence, and I did not have that. You know, I didn't
That
know
makes sense.
that I didn't have that, and we lived in a blue collar neighborhood. So, and all the guys that I grew up with were bright guys.
Sure.
Frankie Grunsight, who I still stay in touch with. Donald Fail, who recently passed away. These guys got scholarships, and they were very, very, very bright.
It's like a hustle mentality. And I love that about the New York people. And anytime you ever see a video of anybody from New York, they seem to get their shit together. I'm not talking about people from the Midwest that transplanted there. I'm talking about real New Yorkers. You guys got a little bit of an edge on the whole planet.
Oh
I think.
yeah, well you gotta be because
Yeah.
you're on top of each other.
Yeah.
And there is a lot.
Exactly.
There's a lot of competition.
Yeah.
I mean, forget about it. You know.
Yeah, you wake up getting your nuts kicked in. As soon as you get out of bed, it's like, I got 50 dudes before I get out my front door that want my job, that want to do
Right.
the same shit I want to do. So that leads me to believe that it just creates more overall. And now, I'm not saying everybody there right now is very intelligent. I don't know what's going on. Speaking of that, let's actually talk a little bit about what's going on in New York. And what I mean, how long you been out of there now?
Since 2020.
Okay, so not that long.
Not that long. No.
So you didn't experience the takeover of the socialist mayor. Look, I'm not making shit up. He straight up says he's a democratic socialist, right? I don't know how that's going to work out with the rent freeze and all that. Tell me a little bit about. Okay, the rent freeze is good for a small percentage of people and terrible for everybody else, the way I understand it. You know, what do you think about that?
I don't think rent freezes are good because it handicaps the person who owns the building and making fixes that the buildings need.
Yeah.
And it really is a short-sighted way of looking at a problem. Talking to your base is not really what governing's about.
No.
The whole idea is how you run a campaign is different and how you govern. And in my humble opinion, it appears that the kids or the children don't really understand about the rules of engagement or the rules of politics.
Yeah.
They're still running a campaign, and they don't understand that. And I was lucky enough to be involved in New York politics, actually New York State politics. I was the chief of staff for an assemblyman by the name of Cliff Wilson, who I think, God bless his soul, and I'm still friends with the family, his daughters, Erica and Sharon. He taught me everything there was about politics and how to win. And these kids that are running the campaigns are using social media.
Yeah.
But they know nothing from the next step.
Right.
And what is really a shame is that the political geniuses, I'll say, I'm going to get in trouble, that are like Schumer.
Sure.
Schumer does not know how to respond to social media.
No.
He's petrified
Right.
of it.
Yeah.
Pelosi was not.
Right.
Pelosi knew how to bring them in. Okay, AOC, you want to play games?
Right.
I'll cut your spending here and there.
Right.
Or I'll do this or I'll do that. These older people, okay, and that's why you have to be on top of your game.
Yeah.
You'll always have to be learning. As I like to say, ABB, always be branding.
Yeah.
Always be learning. I don't want anybody to get nervous. I'm 75, okay?
You don't look a day over 63.
There you go. Anyway, so I'm just turned 75. I am becoming an expert on Claude AI.
Oh, nice.
Okay. And you know who I'm learning from? This Gen Zer who I follow on Instagram.
Okay.
I'm taking his course. His name is Dante, and he is just so wonderful. I'm learning so much.
And yet the irony is that the story of America has so often been written by those who were told by others with power and influence and wealth that they were anything but exceptional. For generation after generation, we have been told that when the world has sent its people to our shores, it has not sent its best. There are some who respond to those who ask for more from America with a simple refrain. Love it or leave it, they say. But patriotism has never been about pretending our nation is without flaws. Patriotism is every act of righteous dissent. It is precisely because we love this nation.
All right.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
Let me get your view on this. It just makes me cringe, man, because first and foremost, people, I don't know. I have issues with white liberal women and the way they vote. I just have a huge issue because it's all emotional. It's nothing logical or critical. It's just all emotional. What do you think about what he's throwing at New Yorkers? And do the mass population of New Yorkers agree? I doubt they do agree with this.
No, as I said, excuse me, I didn't mean to cut you off. Are you finished? You want to add something to that?
I'm done.
Okay. Well, first of all, he's talking to those who elected him.
Right.
And remember
Sure.
that it is a minority
Right.
of New Yorkers.
Okay.
Number two, he is very, very attractive. No matter what people say about what he says,
Right.
he is his delivery.
He's aesthetically pleasing.
He is aesthetically pleasing. Third, the message couldn't be what's the word I want? More wrong for
Right.
For my parents, for my cousins.
Right.
They don't want a handout.
No.
Okay. You're talking.
It's New York City.
You're right. I mean, and which is a very, very competitive culture.
Yes.
And it's how well you can be, how well you can be outstanding. It's not about giving things to others. You don't really want a handout, and the people that he has captured are what I would call the crybabies that have it. And by the way, that is brilliant marketing, because that's how communists got their way in Russia.
100%.
Where you got people. It was not the poor people that were. It was the middle people that were kept out. Okay, for whatever reason, and they caused the uproar and the revolution because they wanted, in fact, to be at the table, and that's what you see. What this is all about. And the good news is he's not an American. He's a naturalized citizen. So he's not going to be able to be president of the United States.
Well, thank God for that. But the whole simple fact of the matter is he's the mayor of the largest economy on planet Earth.
But
again, you're right.
But he got there with like 10% of the electorate. I mean, this isn't a democracy. This is who gets who to the polls.
All right, you're the branding ambassador. I'm not asking politically. I'm asking as America's top branding expert. What message does that send about New York City brand? And if he walked into your office tomorrow, he flies out to AZ, he comes in here, he talks, and he wants to know, what's the very first thing you would tell him about branding?
First thing is that you have to go beyond your base. What you have to do is you have to reach out. And that is what I would call the rules of political engagement. In the old days, Rodney, what you would do if you went to Congress is keep your mouth shut for 2 years. Okay?
Right.
What did AOC do the first week was she there? She opened a big mouth.
Right.
She alienated most of the country except her
base.
Her base, which are millennials and Gen Zers.
Right.
And
guys that like big titties.
Yeah. She's a very attractive.
Not going to lie, I'd bang her, but that's not the point.
Yeah.
I don't want her running my country.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So with that, you have to learn the rules. So one of the rules in the old days was you would shut up and drive, as Rihanna would say.
Right.
All right.
Right.
What you would do is not talk.
Right.
Okay. And not throw bombs at the speaker.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Whatever you want, I'm here for you. I'll back you wherever you want. What did she do? She was into promoting herself.
Oh, yeah.
And that's not good.
Can you imagine going against the greatest stock trader of all times in Nancy Pelosi?
That's a good one.
The whole thing going on with Gavin Newsom right now is they have an insider that flipped with the FBI and wore a wiretap and got him apparently dead to rights on a bunch of bullshit. Now, check this out. It was started by the Biden campaign because you know they're going to throw it against Trump. Trump trying to take Gavin Newsom out. No.
FBI infiltrated Gavin Newsom's inner circle by convincing governor's ally to wear a wire. This is a New York Post story. The FBI had a mole inside Gavin Newsom's political orbit before the agency's corruption probe expanded into the governor and his wife. The Post has learned Democrat insider Alexis Podesta, 45, secretly recorded conversations during the criminal probe into Newsom's then chief of staff, Dana Williamson, 53, who pleaded guilty to federal fraud and tax charges in May. According to Williamson's attorney, the revelation she was wearing a wire as far back as June 2024. Damn.
Wow.
This is like Joe Pistone, Donnie Barasco type of stuff.
There you go.
Explains why a swath of Sacramento political insiders and lobbyists were stunned to receive FBI letters last fall informing them that their phone calls have been intercepted during the investigation, despite many have little or no connection to Williamson. Alexis wore a wire and Dana did not, said McGregor Scott, Williamson's lawyer and a former U.S. attorney for Eastern District of California, which is now investigating the Newsoms. The disclosure comes as Newsom announced last month that he and his wife, whose nonprofit had been burning through money in recent years, as well as members of the governor's inner circle,
we know that,
are under federal investigation. Within hours of that announcement, Newsom blasted out an email to raise money for Political Action Committee. Tom, what's going on over here?
I'll tell you what's going on over
Why do you think he's raising money?
here. Williamson, we know what happened there. Dana Williamson pleads guilty, has the situation come up. However, now we find out that there was a wire on this. So wearing a wire, and they are now investigating the Newsoms specifically. The only reason they're investigating the Newsoms is because something came up on the wire. Mm-hmm. And so they got Williamson, and Williamson, the wire must have been very compelling because he pled before plea. I looked it up.
Okay.
You know what pleading before plea is?
Yep.
Is where your lawyer basically tells the government, says, look, we're going to plead guilty on this. We want to figure out what are we going to do here on sentencing. You go straight to sentencing. Mm-hmm. You assume that the government's going to get you on 1 felony or 2 felony.
Yeah. So what are you thinking? So as someone who spent decades building and protecting brands, what does a headline like this do to a politician's brand like Gavin Newsom right now?
Well, it can only defeat him.
Right.
It can only hurt his brand. I mean, here's a guy who, once again, physically, he's got what we call in branding the related product features. He's handsome, he dresses well,
You're right.
speaks well. But when you get to the core feature, which is governing,
Right.
he can't do it.
He's horrible.
He can't do it.
He's horrible.
And when people have, or I should say, when voters have to make that kind of a decision,
Yeah.
they can give a darn about
Right.
the idea of looking good. That's what political marketing traditionally was all about.
100%. It's all about utilizing the tools that we have in front of us.
Yes.
And you being a brand ambassador, that's right up your alley. Let's see.
By the way, Rodney, if I could just say this, your voice, you've got such a great radio voice.
Oh,
as
thank
opposed
you.
for me, I'm much more Queens.
And let's talk about the 19th Amendment real quick and white liberal women. You want to talk about emotion? That is where your emotion comes from, right there.
Right.
I get it. You're a motherly, naturally nurturing person. That's what's in your brain. That's all you want to do. I want to take care of this person. They're hurting. They need help. Well,
Right.
it's not always the best thing for a nation.
And that's why the system we had worked fairly well until what I call, this is what our listeners and viewers can coin. It's called Kias. You know what a Kia is? A know-it-all. And I use that a lot.
Yeah, no.
And I realize that there are some things I don't know. And the things that I don't know, I admit that I don't know.
Right.
But not everyone feels that way.
Right.
And I realized that in graduate school, where you would have such nonsense and such BS come across people that had a tenth of what I knew and a tenth of my intelligence, but they were able to phrase it in a way that they sounded intelligent, but really was the dumbest things you ever heard. Here's another book.
Talking points.
Talking points. Here's another book that I want to write. When smart people say the stupid things. I'm pretty easygoing.
I know you are.
I'm not. I
think we're getting along great.
I think we'll always be bosom buddies.
Hey!
Friends, brothers, and pals.
I love it.
Let me ask you a question.
Go ahead.
Hey, John, I can't thank you enough for coming into the studio and hanging out with us today.
I look forward to many more, if you'll have me.
Oh, of course. I'm going to bring your ass right in here. We covered a lot of stuff. Everybody watching, make sure to follow John. Dr. John Tantillo, the marketing doctor. You can catch him on Newsmax as well. That's where I found
and
you.
And YouTube.
Yeah, and
John
YouTube.
Tantillo,
Read his marketing and branding lens column at newsmax.com. Check out his website at marketingdoctor.tv. Is that right?
That's right.
And follow him on Instagram and YouTube at Dr. John Tantillo.